everybody, we're back. My next guest tonight is a law professor and former Nixon speechwriter, but you all remember him as the deadpan science teacher from The Wonder Years and also Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Well, starting this Monday, you can see him on Comedy Central as the host of the new and very unusual game show, Win Ben Stein's Money. Let's get him out here to explain this thing. Please welcome Ben Stein. I gotta say, I'm very intrigued by the concept of this game show because I've never heard of anything quite like it. What happens is you're the host of the show.
Correct.
The contestants come on.
Correct.
It's your money.
Right.
They try and win it from you, but if they don't, you get to keep it.
I get to keep everything that they don't win. The prize budget is put up by the producers, and I get to keep everything that they don't win. So it is very possible for me to lose $20,000 in a day.
This is amazing because it's like, you know, Alex Trebek, it's not his money, well, and he has nothing to gain except the love of the American people.
And he doesn't have to answer the questions. I have to answer the questions, and they're incredibly hard. It's like being squished cruelly by KGB or Gestapo interrogators, and that's why I like to do it.
Yeah.
That's why it's so much TV is fun.
Sounds like fun family entertainment.
Well, I like it. No, it's very, very tense. It's extremely tense.
And I would think it's strange because, you know, the typical game show host is sort of neutral and kind of encouraging and, oh, that's too bad you lost, and they try and seem like a nice guy. You want these people to lose.
I desperately want them to lose. I want them to lose, and I'm so happy when they lose I could kiss their feet. I mean, I would do almost anything for them if they would lose, but sometimes they beat me anyway. I mean, there are a lot of people out there in America who seemingly have had almanacs next to the toilet seat since they were small children and have been memorizing them. They've never had a date. They've never been married. They've never had children. Their whole life is memorizing facts, and they all want...
Those people are pathetic.
I get that joke.
Yeah,
I got
you.
that. I got that. That isn't me. I happen to be an extremely cool guy who also knows a lot of stuff.
Right.
Wait, why is that funny?
It's funny to me that you're actually trying, like, for example, someone comes on the show, are you cruel if they lose? Are you mean to them?
No. If they lose, I'm very, very nice to them and friendly to them. If they win, I don't like them very much. But we do try to make fun of them during the show, break their spirit, break their morale.
That's sort of the same concept here. It's worked very well for us.
Yeah, we have had some contestants who are overweight, and my very, very funny co-host, Jimmy Kimmel, calls them blobs, says, oh, you might someday get a date if you lose 300 pounds. And we try to just break them down so that...
Wow, he's a real wit, this guy. Hey, blob.
Well, he calls them trivia blobs, so that's really funny. And we break them down, but they still are resistant. They want that money.
Yeah. Now, what happens when, for example, someone isn't very bright or something? Give us an example of someone who just couldn't get an answer.
We asked somebody who the premier of Israel was, and he said Juan Perón. We asked who...
That's wrong.
That's right. That's right. And we asked somebody who was the star of Spellbound, the famous 1940s movie, and the person said Tori Spelling. So, yeah, you think that's wrong, too.
She's had a big film career.
That's wrong, too. And if they're really, really, really wrong and do the worst possible thing, that is if they answer a question with a question like some other horribly derivative game show, not like ours, we throw things at them and put a dunce cap on them.
Okay. And they just sit there and let you do this? Does anyone fight back?
No, because they want the $5,000. People are they're highly motivated. I mean, think if you could win $5,000 in a half hour, you'd be very highly motivated to do it.
Now, you stand to make a lot of money, I would think.
Well,
I mean, if enough people lose...
Not by your standards, but by the ordinary person.
Yes, the highest paid person in show business, right? Let's take a lap right now for Conan O'Brien. No.
By the ordinary standards of human endeavor, $5,000 a half hour is a lot of money.
No, but what I'm saying is you can make this money, which is a real incentive for you.
It's a tremendous incentive. That's why it's so... But I can also lose it. I mean... I don't exactly make $5,000 a show, but I can lose $5,000 a show. It's very scary to think that I'm... Sorry.
I just want to know, do you make a regular salary in addition?
Very modest. Very, very modest.
See, because I think it would be a lot better show if you didn't make anything.
Yeah.
Then what?
You're
a
real pal.
Yeah.
He had to get it.
Gee, thank you.
And if you don't make it, and if you lose the money, the camera follows you to, like, the bus station.
Yeah,
and we see you eating beans out of a can.
How about if I lose all of mine, then it comes out of my son, my 9-year-old son's money, and we see him unable to go to school?
No, that's not right. Why should he suffer for your foolishness?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about, because, you know, this game show sounds fascinating. Your life has been quite interesting. You worked for Nixon, and before you worked for President Nixon, you had a pretty strange government job. Can you tell us what that was?
I was a staff attorney for the Federal Trade Commission studying false and deceptive advertising, and 2 of our products that we studied were the Vegematic. And
Ron Popeil's
we had him
Vegematic.
actually come in to the set.
Ron Popeil?
To the office. Ron Popeil. He brought in a Vegematic, a huge sack of food, and he proceeded to grind it all up on our table and slice and dice and so forth. And then he gave it to me and said, take it home. You'll see how easy it is to do. I could never make it do anything. And I had that for about 20 years and finally threw it out. But we did not sue him. And now I see him all the time in Morton's with his unbelievably beautiful blonde wife. So that's what you get if you sell enough Basomatics. And then the other product...
Well, I was curious about something. So we have, our taxpayers' money is going to have... the taxpayers are paying for people to check out the Vegematic and make sure that it really slices and dices.
That's right.
What about the bald spot spray on the top of the head to make sure that...
We didn't question that, but we also studied the...
Why would you question that?
Yeah, we also studied the Mark Eden bust developer, because there was a product called the Mark Eden bust developer. If you pulled and pushed on it, it was supposed to enlarge your bust. And we were compelled to
I didn't know that's what it was for.
Yes.
I had one when I was 14, and I used it for a year. I had no idea.
Well, we might have seen...
I thought it was for, like, a manly upper chest, and then...
We might have seen your picture, because we saw thousands and thousands of before and after pictures of the human breast. We were compelled to study that.
You had to... This is part of your job, to study the before and after photos?
Well, the government does a lot of things for you that you don't realize. And so we had to do that.
I'm sure they do, yeah. All right. And finally, last question. When you were working in the White House for Nixon, Elvis visited, which is a famous visit. He went to visit President Nixon. Did you see him when he visited?
I sat next to him. It was actually when I was having lunch with my father at the White House mess, and my father, a very sober person, said, I think that's Elvis Presley sitting behind you.
Where were you sitting?
We were sitting in the White House mess, a very nice restaurant in the White House, and behind...
Like a cafeteria or
no,
something?
It's very, very nice with waiters and served food.
Cafeterias can be nice.
No, it's a really nice restaurant. And
I like a cafeteria. I don't know what you're implying.
Well, to get past that.
Okay.
If we can.
No, I want to hash this out. I like a cafeteria.
Well, you want to talk about the cafeteria or Elvis?
Cafeteria.
Right. Well, it wasn't the cafeteria, so we could get past that.
All right,
so
okay.
Elvis was sitting behind me, and my father said, I think that's Elvis Presley. I turned around. It was the King. And I said, you can hardly imagine what a fan I am of yours. And he said, thank you very much. And I saw Elvis Presley, and it was like...
No, I think you saw a deputy dog.
I saw Elvis.
Come on, Elvis, I know. All right, well, Win Ben Stein's Money is Monday through Thursday at 7:30 and 11:30, and that's on Comedy Central. And it sounds like a really fun idea for a game show.
It's fun for everyone but me.
Yeah, okay. Best of luck with that. Ben Stein, thanks for coming, Ben. No, stay right there. We're not done with you yet. All right, everybody, that is our show for the evening. We want to thank all our guests. Good night. Stay tuned for Friday night. We'll see you Monday. Bye.